continues. While the Bulls have been to the playoffs 17 times in their 25-year history, they have never played for an NBA title. That would all change, of course, if they can get by the Pistons in this series. And as Paul Ryden reports, it would be the perfect anniversary present.
How did you celebrate your 25th anniversary? A little romance, perhaps? The Chicago Bulls celebrated theirs like this. For the 5th time in their relatively brief history, the Bulls are in the conference finals. Of course, this is a franchise that was special from the start. They won their very first game in 1966 and became the first and only expansion team in NBA history to make the playoffs their first season.
I remember Richie Guerin, who was the coach of the then St. Louis Hawks, made a statement and said the Bulls probably won't win 12 to 15 games. Well, we used that as a battle cry that first year, and we opened in St. Louis at the arena, and the first victory that we got was against Richie Guerin and the St. Louis Hawks, so that was really kind of neat.
Chicago was once again a 4-sport city with 5 teams. The Bulls, the Cubs, the White Sox, the Blackhawks, the Bears. And there have been some memorable teams. Who can forget the Bears of '85, the White Sox of '59, the Black Sox of 1990? Well, let's forget about them. How about the Bulls of '73-74? Of the 5 conference final teams, this was the first. On that team, 3 future NBA head coaches, Atlanta's Bob Weiss, and 2 who would square off against each other in this year's playoffs, Portland's Rick Adelman and Utah's.
I always wanted to be a coach, but I never really, my concentration at that time basically was strictly as a player. I didn't have a coach's mentality on the floor, and I think those guys had more of a coaching mentality as they played than I did.
There was no aspirations that way. I think the only influence it might have had on the game was that we were a pretty smart ball club.
Smart, talented, and gutsy. During that opening round playoff series against Detroit in '74, Weiss took pain-killing shots in his heel, and Sloan broke his foot in Game 6. The Bulls should have been at a disadvantage in Game 7, but...
Before we started the game, Jerry came up on crutches and the place exploded. And it was just like, I mean, right at that point, we won the game because our team was so up that Detroit couldn't do anything with us, and we ended up winning the series even without Jerry.
They won the clincher by 2 points, but the Bulls, without Sloan, were no match for Milwaukee, and they were swept in the conference finals by the Bucks. But the first of Chicago's 5 conference finals made '73-74 a season to remember.
We just had a group that really understood what we were trying to do out there, and we always remained very, very focused.
It was a great group of people who really knew what it took to win, knew what it took to win in this league, and it was just a great experience for me.
While all 5 Chicago teams are now considered contenders, world championships here are rare. So one has to wonder if, like that other Chicago sports icon Ernie Banks, Michael Jordan will spend his entire career in the Windy City and never see action in the big game. Only the Pistons now stand in the way.
No doubt the city is ready for the Bulls, rather, to make the NBA Finals for the first time. You live in Chicago. The place is going pretty nuts. Huh?
And I lived in Chicago during that era as well, and now I'm living in Chicago during this era, and I look exactly the same.
It's a fact, folks. It's a fact.
But they are very excited in Chicago right now.
They certainly are. Unpredictability. That's the key word.